What's up guys? My name is Jacob Sherwood. Thank you for tuning in to the first video in 2021 on this channel. I'm so excited to be kicking it off with new audio equipment and an install that I get asked about at least once a day. So let's get right into the install of a quick release steering wheel on a go-kart. Not this go-kart. So I took pretty much the last 2 months of 2020 off from YouTube. I was spending all my free time celebrating my 21st, you know, Christmas, all that good stuff. But in the background and on my little bits of free time, I was mainly working on this XR80 shifter cart. Now I'm not gonna get into too much detail of how I did this because I did film a video all along that, I would say, a month and a half period of me constantly working on this thing. And I'd like to slap that all together in one nice big video where you guys see this thing go from 0 to 100. But now that it's time for me to install a steering wheel on this thing, I thought it'd be the perfect time to take a little break from just trying to get it running and filming this install video, the quick release steering wheel on a go-kart. As you guys saw in the intro, my purple cart has already had a quick release for a while. Only thing about this one is it is a welded system. It's not welded directly to the cart, but it is welded in some way. And I wanted to make sure that this one did not. You heard that right, boys. I'm gonna be showing you guys how to mount one of these, no welder needed. I know back in my early days of karting, if someone hit me with one of these installs, I would have loved it because I had no welder, and now I do. But I do plan on changing this whole steering setup, and I would love to reuse the hub, so that's why I'm not gonna weld it on like the purple one. Let's get into this frickin' install. I decided to pick up this beautiful 14-inch wood grain steering wheel off of Amazon. It was a $60 pickup, and I am so stoked on it because it's comfy, sleek, and of course it, you know, is going to meet the standards of this classic kart. If you're curious of exactly what type of wheel to get, I just recommend the normal 6-bolt pattern, and I'll show you guys the quick release that I went for, which is the same exact one on the purple one, so I know it's fire. So this is the quick release hub that I chose to go with. Just your average setup. I believe it's sub $30 on eBay. So definitely worth the price. Like I said, I've had one before, so I know they're pretty sturdy and they definitely do the job for a kart. So if you have a go-kart that was built in America or built with American parts, you'll probably have a steering mount similar to this. So I quickly found out a way to mount this by going to buy some hardware that really helps you do that. And if you couldn't tell or didn't know, these little hubs have a weird spot where they're supposed to obviously go in a car. And we're just gonna space it out with these little 1/2-inch spacers that I picked up from Tractor Supply. I also picked up some 30mm M5 hex bolts with some locking nuts and washers. So that's everything that I'm gonna use to mount this, and I'm pretty confident that it's gonna work fine. So my pattern for this is just going to be mounting the top one, and then I will be marking all the holes, drilling them out, and it's mounted, boys. This is just a little mock-up. I'm very lucky to have had them already line up a hole. So my front wheels are perfectly straight right now, and I know that this hole that this is now mounted into is also straight with that, because these hubs, as you can tell, are splined, and it goes small, 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 and then one big one, and that's where you can judge how to point your wheel straight. But that's in the instructions, so read your instructions, boys. Okay, so now that I have found a way to mount the bottom piece on, I'm actually going to be using the top of the hub that actually mounts to the steering wheel and using that to mark the holes because there's no gap to play with. I can go ahead and just bolt it up the same way and mark these holes way more accurately. I just want to give you guys a little bit of a closer look at this. So when you look at all the splines, there's the thicker one, and see how it's lined up with where I put that bolt? That is key on making sure that your steering wheel is always straight, because your steering wheel is going to have the same thing with the other side of the hub. There you go. So we have our metric 6 bolt pattern marked all out on this thing. This thing's gonna look like a piece of Swiss cheese, but yeah, you can barely see it because it's a black Sharpie, but I'll just be drilling those out with the closest size to my M5 in American, or standard size, I should say. So I actually changed my mind, and I'm gonna kick these off with a step drill bit just because it eats so much better. So as you can see, got them all pre-drilled. Now I'm just gonna finish them off. Let's go. Okay, so we're back at that previous step with the bottom of the hub mounted back on, and then one hardware setup with the spacer. Except this time we have all the holes drilled, and I have the other bolts in there just to test the fitment. I am gonna go ahead and take everything up one more size in order to get a little bit more tolerance on the fitment. So as you can see, bringing it up a size on all those holes made for a much better fitment. And you can't ask for anything better than that. So now we're gonna get all the spacers on these in order to make sure she's nice and level. So let's get to it. I just got all the hardware on, and I gotta say, for a completely reversible mod that I could go directly back to the setup that I had before, this is pretty sick. The white nylon spacers are kind of killing me, but they work, yeah. And I'm gonna put the wheel from the purple Kart on this, and we'll see what it looks like. Okay, so I got pretty much the same hub, so it's just gonna, or should just go right on. And there you go. So literally works perfect. So yeah, just while tightening the hardware, I just made sure it was as straight as possible by eye, and that's pretty much as good as it's gonna get, because I know the people before did the same thing. So I can't complain. Like twisting it, like I'm really giving it my all, like to make sure if this thing is gonna twist or these are gonna snap or break under pressure. I just think it's definitely gonna do the job until I get a full welded system. So that is what I would call the little bit of a disclaimer of this video. Obviously guys, metal spacers that, you know, you wanna spend the $8 per spacer at Tractor Supply, that was gonna hurt me. So I didn't do it, but you're welcome to do that. I went nylon. There's plenty of other ways to go at this, but I was just showing you guys a quick, easy, local, under 15-minute way. And that's what we did. Now let's get that beautiful wood grain steering wheel mounted on the top part of the hub and put on this go-kart before I freak out. So similar to this wheel, which is missing a piece of hardware that always bothers me, but similar to this wheel, I can't run the horn, which kind of sucks. And I think that's only this type of hub, but not that big of a deal. I'm gonna find a way to fix on both of them, just not in this video. So that's pretty much the first step. Oh, the fingerprints are killing me. But I'm going to take all of this off and remove the horn, because this is actually why, if you want to see the direct reason, please focus. That horn sticks out and that hub doesn't like it. So I'm gonna remove all 6 of these bolts and nuts, take the horn out and put it back together. All right, we're back to the spline trick. As you can see, there's the wide one, and I'm gonna make sure it's on top. So it's gonna be mounted like this on the wheel, just like that. Oh my gosh. Even without the horn on this thing, it is still so sick. It's also really cool that I can still it and put it on the purple Kart if I want. But I'm mocking it up right now. All Alrighty, the moment of truth. Woo-hoo-hoo. Man, that looks a lot cooler than I thought. I'm not gonna lie. This is freaking dope. Oh my gosh. So at first glance, the thing is honestly on the bigger side for sure, but the way this cart drives is gonna be perfect to just throw that thing around. I definitely wish the bushings or the little spacers, the nylon spacers, were black. I'll probably be replacing those if I keep this setup for a good amount of time, but I am totally pleased with this. Just imagine posting up at the drift spot, just flexing on them with this thing. Oh, 10 out of 10, recommend these mods. I will absolutely be sure to link both of these down in the description to make sure you guys can check it out if you'd like. Although the way I mounted it is temporary, I will definitely be keeping the wheel on this thing, especially after it's all done. And that's about it to this one, boys. I wanted to keep it real short, just coming back on a good note, busting you guys with an install that I know a lot of people are curious about. So that's what it is, man. If you appreciate and like this content, make sure to like and subscribe because we're going hard this year. And if you didn't know, I run an Instagram page called CrazyBuilder37 where this shenanigans is going on the daily. So thanks again for watching. Peace out.